Good morning, pals. Welcome back to 100 Days, 100 Miles on a $100 treadmill. I'm Tanya, and today we are going to do a little bit of treadmilling, and I'm going to run some errands. I'm going to just take you with me today. Got a lot to get done today, so we're going to do that. And I'll show you some more work on the Peter Pan patch. And so let's get this day going. Let's take a walk. All right, pals, you ready for the countdown? Come on, everybody, here we go. And let's ramp it up. Welcome back to day 69. We have 31 days to go to Disneyland. This is, I know I say this all the time, but woo, can't believe it's getting so close. I can't believe that we've done 2/3 of this journey already. Over 2/3 of the journey. And we are seriously on the downhill slope of this thing now. It was, I don't know if it was jokingly suggested last night that my bestie wants to do the 10K for the Disney run next year. I think I'm down for that. I don't know that I want to, record what I'm doing every single day in preparation for that, but it would be another good journey, I suppose. And I mean, what the heck, getting to run through Disneyland before it opens in the morning. And I watched a video of someone else doing it in the past couple of weeks. And everything's so lit up and it's so beautiful there, and nobody's in the park except the runners. And I mean, and that's a lot of people, but but yeah, it would just be a cool experience. So I don't know. I think I'm down for it. Anywho, thanks again for joining me last night on the live stream. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoy having the interaction. Really makes my mile go faster. And it's just a lot of fun to do those, the polls and the looking at the different things I've been working on in real time. And you guys get a little bit of a sneak peek of what's going to be coming up in videos. So that's always fun. All right, and let's just go ahead and see what Disneyland is doing without us today, because I'm just going to do a real quick looking at the tip board today, because I am going to take you with me on doing some errands and going to the car wash and stuff like that. So today's video is going to be a little bit disjointed, but hopefully it'll all come together in the end. We'll see in a couple of hours when I edit this. And let's go ahead and open our Disneyland app. And we're going to push that big plus button at the very bottom. And we're going to, at the bottom of that list, we're going to click Book Lightning Lane. And we'll click over on the top to Tip Board. It is Wednesday afternoon, 1:28 in the afternoon, so on February 11th. And Disneyland is looking pretty standard so far. Big Thunder is down. Buzz Lightyear's up a little bit. Haunted Mansion's at 35 minutes because Indiana Jones is down. So we've got a couple of Big Thunder and Indiana Jones is down. So that's going to push people out into the park that would normally be in these longer queues. Millennium Falcon has a 55-minute wait with a 2:25 return time, so it's getting some love today. Not sure what's up with that. Looks like the Opera House is temporarily closed, so that means the Walt animatronic is down at the moment. Roger Rabbit is at 55 minutes, and Space Mountain is at 100 minutes. Okay, so Star Tours is at 50 minutes, so we've got something going on. Things are going on in the parks. But it looks like you can get some discounts in some places, but it looks like it's probably that's a healthy day in the park. Let's switch over to Disney California Adventure, and we'll see what's going on over there. So we have a 5-minute wait at Golden Zephyr, 40 minutes at Goofy Sky School. We're seeing that, what we're getting so used to seeing at Guardians of the Galaxy. They've got a 60-minute wait, and at 1:30 in the afternoon, the Lightning Lanes are sold out. Incredicoaster. Okay, so this is interesting. When you see something like what we're seeing right here, which is Incredicoaster just says, standby line available now. They don't even have a time there. What that means is it just came off of a temporary closure, and it's just gotten back online, so they don't have any idea what that line looks like. This is not the time to go racing for this queue. If you are there waiting, get in the queue, sure. But when you see this standby line available now, just means that the ride has just come back up, and anyone who's been waiting to use a Lightning Lane is going to be heading over there. Anyone who's near it, who thinks they're going to get a discount by racing, is going to be heading over there. That queue is going to explode in the next couple of minutes, and it'll be almost impossible within probably 5 or 10 minutes. We'll come back and look at that in just a couple of minutes and see if that holds true. So it's at 1:31 right now, 1:32. We'll come back and look at that in about 5 minutes and see what has happened. It has a return time of 5:20. So Incredicoaster has been down for a refurbishment, and people are excited to get back on it again. So it's going to be busy for the next week or so. Regardless, everything else is looking pretty standard. Luigi's is down, which it will do often throughout the day. Looks like Mike and Sully's has the same thing going on. Standby line is available now. Radiator Springs is at 65 minutes, with a return time of 1:35. Soaring over California, 95 minutes. People are excited about seeing the old, the old original. And yeah, so again, those numbers just look like healthy days in the park right now. So I'm gonna back out. Oh, right, what we were gonna do is go back to the tip board. Since about 5 minutes has passed, and we'll see what Incredicoaster is doing. Okay, so Incredicoaster is actually temporarily closed now. So it went the opposite way. It looked like it was going to be open, and Mike and Sully's did the same thing. So So what we were seeing before with that standby currently offered with no time went the opposite direction of what I thought it was going, which is it went to a temporary closure rather than just opening up. So we were just catching that at a strange anomaly there. Anywho, and because I have a lot more stuff to show you today, let's take a look at going through the car wash, look at the patches. Let's do all that stuff. And I'll see you at the end. All right, pals, you ready to run some errands with me? Come on, everybody. Here we go. All right, I just need to run to the post office. The Furious Tangerine needs a little bit of a wash. That's what we call my car because it is a bright orange color. The name of the actual color of the car is Monarch Orange, but it is just, yeah, I don't know. We just started calling it Furious Tangerine right from the very start. So there's that. Gonna be a busy day at the car wash. Sunny outside brings all the cars to the yard. All right, so we're ready to start stitching up Peter Pan. I've picked out all the colors of thread that I'm going to need for him. Cut down the piece of felt that I'm going to be stitching him to fit him. And we'll just go ahead and get started. I like to use a little bit of tape just to keep everything placed where I want it to be. Otherwise, I could end up with him completely skewed off to one side and have not everything fit on here. So I want to definitely start with our base being in the most correct place it can be. All right, now we'll move on to the tunic. This is going to be a bit of a two-parter because we're going to have to stop and insert the arms before we sew it all down. So that'll be a little bit of a process, but you'll see how it goes. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with the face, but we did with the arms. Just going to set him in there and sew that into place as we're going. Getting there. So now I'm gonna sew down the face and the arms, and we'll come back when that's done. All right, so I have stitched down all of his body, and now we're gonna put his hair on. So I'll come back when that is done. All right, he's even got a second start of the right, straight on till morning. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some of the detail of the embroidery of his face, and possibly some shading or you know, details to his fingers. I'm not sure. We'll see where it goes when I get there. And there it is. Congratulations, pals. Woohoo! All right, good job today, pals. Thanks for coming along on another 100 miles, 100 days on a $100 treadmill. I'm Tanya. Those are my ears for the day. This is my backyard, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow. Bye, pals. I need to get my phone, because how can we look at what Disneyland is doing without us without my phone? Let's see if I can mount this thing left-handed here. A little harder for me to do that direction.